What makes a young singer from a quiet English town suddenly become a global headline? In recent years, the name Lucy Thomas has surfaced repeatedly across music publications, social platforms, and entertainment news outlets. Born in Wigan, England, Lucy began her musical development early, but her rise was anything but predictable. Reporters at the time noted that she had an unusual clarity in her tone, something even seasoned vocal coaches struggled to explain. Her early videos, recorded with modest equipment, started circulating online long before her mainstream discovery. Viewers described her voice as unexpectedly refined for her age, and analysts began noticing a trend. Clips featuring Lucy maintained unusually high engagement metrics. This was one of the first indicators that she was not simply another young singer exploring the internet, but someone with genuine artistic gravity. What began as local recognition escalated rapidly as interest grew, and industry watchers started asking whether Lucy had the potential to become one of the defining voices of her generation. And as attention mounted, a larger story started to take shape, one that would soon become impossible for the music world to ignore. But the real turning point came when millions saw her under studio lights for the first time. How does one televised moment shift the trajectory of a young artist's entire future? Lucy's appearance on a major UK talent show became the catalyst that transformed curiosity into widespread recognition. While she did not claim the top title that season, coverage of her performance surged across entertainment news cycles. Reporters noted that her audition clip generated unusually high replay counts and strong viewer sentiment. Publications described her voice as cinematic, unexpectedly polished, and possessing an emotional depth rarely observed in performers of her age. Analysts also pointed out how her performance stood out not because of theatrics, but because of precision, control, and an unmistakable sincerity that resonated with both judges and the public. Following the broadcast, online searches for her name spiked dramatically, prompting music journalists to profile her early influences and training. Industry professionals began weighing in as well, drawing attention to her breath support, vibrato control, and tonal purity. In a matter of days, Lucy went from being relatively unknown to a rising name discussed in national entertainment circles. Yet as coverage intensified, few expected what she would accomplish next. What happens when an emerging artist uses the internet not just as a platform, but as a launchpad? After her national debut, Lucy's career accelerated through an avenue many young artists struggle to navigate: digital media. Her YouTube channel became a central hub for her growing fan base, featuring carefully produced covers that highlighted her vocal refinement. Entertainment outlets quickly noticed her unusual consistency. Every upload generated significant traction, and a pattern emerged. Her performances were not just being watched, they were being shared at rates typically reserved for major pop releases. This momentum caught the attention of major music publications as her audience expanded internationally. Soon after, Lucy signed her first recording contract and released her debut album, followed by additional albums in consecutive years, an uncommon pace for someone still in early development. News outlets reported on her ability to reinterpret classic and contemporary songs with a maturity well beyond her age. Analysts credited her success to a combination of disciplined vocal training, strong artistic direction, and strategic digital presence. But despite these achievements, Lucy was determined not to remain defined solely by covers. Why are vocal experts calling Lucy Thomas one of the most technically stunning young voices in the industry today? As Lucy's catalog expanded, her influence was increasingly supported by professional analysis rather than fan enthusiasm alone. Vocal coaches, reporters, and music critics began examining her technique more closely. Coverage consistently highlighted her exceptional breath control, smooth legato phrasing, and tonal clarity. Many noted the emotional nuance in her performances, a distinctive quality that set her apart from many young singers who rely primarily on power rather than interpretation. Her voice carried a richness that sounded naturally cinematic, making her particularly well-suited for ballads, theatrical pieces, and orchestral arrangements. News commentators referenced her ability to convey emotion through subtle dynamic shifts rather than dramatic vocal runs. This approach resonated strongly with global audiences, earning her recognition not just as an online sensation, but as a serious vocalist with long-term potential. Still, her next steps would reveal an even more ambitious artistic direction. What does an artist do when she's ready to grow beyond what first made her famous? After establishing herself through covers and studio recordings, Lucy began shifting toward original music and broader artistic involvement. Reports from 2023-2025 highlighted her increased participation in theatrical productions, live concerts, and collaborative projects. This transition was closely observed in entertainment journalism, as young artists often struggle to move from online recognition to credible on-stage presence. Yet reviews described her live performances as confident and polished, with many noting her ability to maintain vocal strength without relying on studio enhancement. Her original music also began gaining attention, reflecting themes of growth, resilience, and emotional clarity. Critics pointed out that this evolution demonstrated her desire to establish a personal artistic identity rather than remain associated strictly with cover songs. The shift marked an important phase in her career, one that suggested longevity and artistic ambition. But with growth came new challenges, and the next chapter would test her development like never before. What happens when an artist with rapid success must balance public expectation with personal evolution? As Lucy entered the later stages of her teenage years and early adulthood, the pressures accompanying her success became more visible. Media coverage in 2024-2025 emphasized the challenge of navigating artistic growth while maintaining the qualities that first captivated her audience. Commentators observed that fans often expect a familiar sound, while artists feel the need to evolve creatively. This created an environment where every new release, performance, or stylistic shift drew heightened scrutiny. Reporters highlighted Lucy's efforts to manage these expectations through disciplined training, selective project choices, and a growing focus on artistic authenticity. Analysts suggested that this period represented a defining transition, one where Lucy was tasked not just with proving her vocal talent, but demonstrating her adaptability and longevity in a rapidly changing industry. And as this chapter unfolds, one question remains at the center of every headline: where will Lucy Thomas's remarkable voice lead her next?